Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle. Then at the cafeteria. Fuck knows. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Kill it! Somehow when I look towards the town centre, the small town feels strikes me very strongly, almost palpably, I don't know. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolis seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. Yay! I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only a short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so sudden, I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. I can say that easily, but other words I can't. Logic. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emi settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one bag and two small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Xaydam, what are you waiting for? My voice. That voice. She is beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. So close. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emi suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch is promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I made them myself when I can. I make them myself when I can. Jesus Christ. Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth, using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed by her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? Well, it should be by now, good God, man. I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean I'm giving up on being a normal person? Still a normal person. All of these people are normal people, good God, man. Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understand about those around me? I'd like to think that you are. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emi tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emi looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite, which is great because then I can burn through lunch pretty quick. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man? Brilliant. I very nearly choke on my lunch, trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. A funny. Did your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? I don't know. I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emi answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought that we'd compliment each other as... What am I reading here? Someone in the housing department thought that we'd compliment each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Compliment each other? Oh god. Like shoes in a suit. Huh? I have a funny feeling. Emi giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs. Get it? That is a sick joke. Oh my god, that is horrible. Ah. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. How well do you get along? I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with skirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emi seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is generally curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. Confuzzled. I mean, you've got no arms. So, putting a skirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm going to just stop talking now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emi finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. That was good. As she busies herself with clearing up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink colour scheme. Okay. And keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think Emi or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that... What the frick was that? Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Hisao, do you like it up here? No, I don't. It's horrible. It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. You bastard, make me look stupid. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for lunch, too. Emi grins a thousand watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose. That grin! No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time too, okay? I won't make you lunch. Jesus Christ. I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Amy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? Yes. The nerve. She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. Oh God, that pose. I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emi pouts. Those puppy dog eyes won't work on me. Kidding, I was kidding. Kidding. Oh my God. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location and the company's okay too. Okay, I don't think she's gonna like that. Emi frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. Oh, no, ding. The lunch bell rings, signalling a return downstairs. Rin, did you finish your lunch again? Oh, wait, what? Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. That's better. I wasn't that hungry. Wait, but didn't we see her eat? Oh, she didn't finish the rest. My fucking logic is horrible. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. I will not fade. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head downstairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday. All the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. Oh my Jesus, man. Woman, will you stop banging your head on the desk or something, whatever it is. As I drop the books I borrowed into the returns slot in the counter, Hugo suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry, Yuko, didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Really? Are you sure? Can I help you? Yes, I want to return these books. It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. And as I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Oh, she's there again. Surprisingly, though, she is there, absorbed completely in a fairy tale thick book. Good choice. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. After an unknown word amount of time spent pursuing the ageless, I don't fucking know. Finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. Oh my God. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that accumulated. That's accumulated over the week. Jesus, maybe I butchered that. Oh, that pose. It's so that make me smile. Go. After passing through and rounding the corner, though I see a softly figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The colour of her hair and the tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusts her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does. So? Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What brings you here? I'm gonna raid the bank. What, we're not allowed to do that? Oh, okay. I've got a clue then. Food. Yeah, food for him. Once again, she gives a small polite bow, and once again I reply in kind before realizing that I needn't do so. Just going into town, you? My, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. Not lost but worried. The two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in the book. She let out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remained silent as we quietly continued to walk down a quiet road. Tag. My God! Someone's reloading the gun. Get my bazooka! With the road bereft of cars and the students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that the loud yawn escapes before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right in the middle of it. Of things. Jesus, baby. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess Yamaku's kind of different though. I mean, the formalities surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset, I suppose. I'll get used to it though, in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she included me in the flock of students she's shepherding along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind, it's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. At least you can. I hate talking to people, it's very hard. Because you always know at the back of their minds they're judging you. And then I'm just like, walk away quickly. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Why do I get the feeling I was talking to Lily? As Lily just said, I'm not really good at voices, but still, I had that feeling.